You can ask rotate by rotate, so it will be fine, no problem.
First question from difference between dynamic and associative array.
Allot it to the person. Yeah?
Starting from Mangala. Okay.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Okay. Dynamic array is like it's actually like it's like we can keep on adding the memory, like it won't be like limited number of memory, and whereas associative memory is like kind of a RAM, so we'll be having like rows and columns kind of. Is that correct?
Okay, then sir, next give to the next question or same question for other
person? Same question for the other person.
Okay. Avdesh.
Hello. Yes, dynamic difference between dynamic array and associative array. So then dynamic array is the array type of the array in which we don't give the index, how much the index value will be. We simply don't give the value what will be the size of the array, and it will be called after the when we going to use that array. We will simply instantiate with that new or and double colon and the specific amount of which size we are going to allot that array. And the dynamic and the associative array, we can in associative array we can define that array of our specific type. Like we want to give that array of int type or array string type, etc.
The system error, so he will escape.
I haven't read system very well.
Okay.
Then what I want to answer the question or?
No. Yes. So you can answer the question also.
Yes. Please.
I want to answer the question.
Yes.
Okay. Dynamic array mainly first we declaration. The array will be allocated memory after only when we code. Okay, as this says with the new keyword. Before that, it will only be a part of a definition, and the index value only be specified in the dynamic array, only be integer type. No other cannot be. We cannot insert. And this comes to associative array. It will allocated memory according to as per our data. What data we will give. If its size will be string and change according to our requirement, and the index value is of any type as per our requirement. That's the most main difference between. And it would not be called. It also be created when we put the data into the array.
So what is the difference between array and an associated array?
Associative array is kind of array. Array are so many kind of array, like queue is there, packed array, unpacked array, associative array, like that. Okay, arrays are classified into various types. One of the type is associative and other type is dynamic.
Okay.
Then
Ankush, you can ask.
What are latches? What is the difference between latches and flip-flop? Anyone?
Okay, I'll go first. So latch is kind of asynchronous, you can say, whereas flip-flop, we can say it's synchronous. Main difference is latches don't have the clock signal, and the flip-flops will have the clock signal. and latches are like flip-flops are like edge triggered, and latches are level triggered. So whenever you get the input, the will get the output at any point. Whereas in flip-flop, only when the clock is triggered, either positive or negative edge, then only you'll get the input will be triggered.
Okay, next one.
Okay. Latches are main difference between latch and flip-flops are latches are level triggered, level sensitive, and flip-flops are edge sensitive or edge triggered. Latches have no control over the input. Means whenever we trigger the level, then the output will be changing according to the input. There is no control over the input. But when it comes into the flip-flops, it has control over the input. According to the clock only, the output will get changed. It's both a 1-bit storage elements. Yeah, that's.
Hello, I want to ask the question. What is a deep copy and shallow copy?
What?
If anyone can. What is deep copy and shallow copy in system Verilog?
Deep copy and shallow copy. Okay. Shallow copy is just done by handle assignment with a new keyword. Okay. Parent class 10 cap. Only in shallow copy, only the copy without the methods has to be copied. Okay. This has to be done. We can done it manually in the handle assignment. We can done. But in deep copy, whatever in the class, in a one class is entirely copied into the other class. It cannot be done manually. We want to done as per our coding style. We can done the deep copy.
Yeah, I agree with you. In shallow copy, the actually like methods will not be copied, so it won't. It will just a separate memory will not be allocated in case of shallow copy. So we as well in deep copy we make a function so that some memory is allocated when we copy.
Okay, fine. So, Akshya, you want to answer the same question? What is the difference between shallow copy and deep copy? So, this is a quiz actually. So, everyone is asking the question from one to each other, right? So, okay, fine. So, Shiril, you ask the next question.
I want to ask the next question from. What are the blocks, procedure blocks in Verilog, and the difference between the main procedural blocks? And which blocks will be triggered first when we call simultaneously at the same time? Each block.
So, just allocate to the person. Allocate to the person.
Okay. First, as per Vangala, then Avdesh, then Anush.
I actually didn't get the question properly. Like,
what are the procedural blocks in Verilog? We have some kind of procedural blocks. Okay.
Like initial, begin.
Initial,
Yeah.
Begin and is kind of.
Initial
always,
and
always an initial. What is the kind of difference?
So initial is like it's driven at the start of the simulation time, whereas always it will be triggered. What are the conditions we put in the always block, like in the always inputs?
Conditions. Okay. If you call simultaneously and both time, which one is triggered first?
I guess initial will be triggered first.
Why?
I think it's based on order. Like if initial it's called first, then initial might be called will be driven first, and then always like I think whichever is first written in the code, then I think it's based on that order. Not didn't get the part like when they run similar like simultaneously. I didn't get that part. How can they run it simultaneously? If always block is in the first line, then always block will run first, and then initial part. So, but theoretically, like initial will be the start of the simulation. So initial will run first, then always block.
Avdesh.
But I think if the initial and always block are on the same code, then always block will trigger when the sensitivity list changes.
Yeah.
And in initial block, they will start from that will start from 0 time simulation, and after that it will increase.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And from my side, you can.
I think initial and always block are sequential, and assign is concurrent. Initial is block is used to when you initialize anything, and like always pauses, neges. Yeah.
Akshay.
Yeah, your first question was the initial and always block. Like it was related to difference also. So initial block will be executing only once at stimulation time 0, whereas always block will be executed every time any of the sensitivity list variable or signal will be triggered. Then initial block will be immediately executed at its starts at time 0. Always, as Avdesh told, that it will be executed like implemented only when one of the sensitivity list element is triggered.
Yeah. Okay. Avdesh can ask question.
Yes. Yes, I have to ask. Can anybody tell difference between function and task?
Function and task. Okay. Both are for the reusability purpose of the code. Okay. And when we comes into the function, the function may have I think one input, so one output and many inputs it has. It cannot support timing constraints like events or anything. It cannot support. And a functions cannot call within the functions. Just because it cannot like a timing constraints. And whatever declared inside the function, the scope of the variable is only inside the functions. Functions can have the capability of return, and then when comes into the task, task have the capability to support the timing constraints, and the declaration of the variable scope is inside the task, and also some of the operators are supported only in task, like non-blocking, and the some timing constraints events that are only supported in task, not in the functions. And the task cannot return a value. Within the task, we can call another task as well as functions.
Yes. Fine.
And
I
also
can ask.
one thing, I think the statement that declare in the task is matters whenever it is called. I don't know, input and output arguments that we declare inside the task is matter when we call. Actually, it affects when we call. It's like if you declare for first three arguments are there. If we declare first two as input, then third one is output. It exactly reflected when it is at the calling time, the same order.
That will be in same order when calling.
Yeah, calling.
Yes, yes, yes. Fine. And next question, or anybody want to add in this?
I can ask another question. So, what is dollar cast?
Dollar
Cast, CAST.
cost is used.
Okay.
So,
Dollar cost is kind of why not a variable change? Data type change. It is costing to one data type to another. If we any kind of requirement is needed for dollar cost, we can perform dollar cost, and it has to be two types. Static cost is there, and also dynamic cost is also there. In static costing, we cannot find the error. If casting is not done, we cannot find the error. When with the dynamic casting, we can find out the error when the casting is not done. Actually, it is in the static casting is done in the runtime, and dynamic actually check it in the compilation time.
Okay, one question which was asked to me in recent mock interview was, what is the difference between call by reference and call by value?
Call by
reference and call by value.
Reference and call by value.
value.
Yeah.
It was specific to any language or in general?
Yeah, system Verilog itself.
Okay.
Even C programming, it is there.
In argument, no? Okay. In argument, if call by value means there are exact memory location is there for that value. Okay. If we have a memory location, then pass the argument with that reference pointing to that memory location. That's a call by value, exact value. But in call by reference, it is actually pointing to some memory location. Only difference. The value cannot have the exact address space. It's actually pointing to that address space.
In C, there is a word pointer that is called call by reference. That is for call by reference.
Yeah, and any change in the base class will change the value itself whenever it is called.
Yeah.
What is the difference between blocking and non-blocking in Verilog? The most
blocking will
common question asked.
Yeah, blocking will go sequentially, and unblock, like they will go parallelly. That is the first difference.
And it is represented by symbol, something like that.
Yeah, equal to and at some greater than equal to.
Yeah. Blocking is one by one.
In blocking, one statement will execute, and after that, second will, third, and so on. And non-blocking, that will execute at that moment, but it will assign the value after the simulation simulation of the time stamp.
Okay. Then what happened if both we put blocking and non-blocking together at the same time? Which one will be executed first?
Okay.
If in a procedure block or
blocking statement will give the result after at that moment, but in non-blocking we will not get the result. We will get the after the next cycle or so on after. If we simulate that, if we simulate A equal to B or A simple equal to B, A equal to 4 and A less than equal to 4, then we will get B. Second one is B. First one we will get 4, and second B we will not get 4 at that moment. We will get it after some time, or after next cycle. I'm correct.
Means or first will be non-blocking will be executed or blocking will be executed. Which
Uh,
one will be executed first?
Blocking will execute first.
I think both will work their work at the moment. We will not see the result in non-blocking directly, but it will execute at that moment. It will not assign. That is the other part.
We can assign with the different initial or begin end. We can assign. Okay, both
Yes.
are executed in zero simulation time. Okay, if one begin and or initial block with we have a non-blocking assignments, with the other we have a blocking assignments. Okay, we can assign. That's not a problem.
Both are in a different begin and block.
Begin and block we can assign. Which one be executed first? That's actually blocking will be then next. Actually, first one is blocking, then #0, then non-blocking, then display. That is a phasing mechanism. I mean, phasing the sequence order of execution in very low.
Timing scheduling.
Timing sequencing.
Yes.
First will be active,
And
then
blocking
inactive,
and
non-blocking, and that's
yes, yes. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, I have another question on this. Like #5, a less than or equals to 1, like 1 bit 1. So
#5
what does
a less than or
with
equal
that
to
She is
1,
going to ask.
1,
okay
1 tick B1.
less
So
than or
what
equal
does
to
this imply? One tick B1. Sending one bit to A. So what does this imply? So it's a non-blocking statement, and we are giving a delay. What does it
okay
mean?
delay is extra. Okay, another thing. Okay, I say if we executed everything in the zero simulation time, then if you have a like what a race condition, okay, then there will be the phasing mechanism will be work. Okay, delay is an extra thing. If we put delay of 1 nanosecond, then after zero simulation time, whatever non-blocking or blocking, what was the executed, then we go for the 1 nanosecond, 2 nanosecond, then the 5 nanosecond we will get. Okay, so the timing will not be work. If you executed both in the 5 nanosecond, then the timing phasing mechanism will be introduced. Like
Yeah, I
active,
get that.
inactive.
I am actually asking, like, what does this imply?
It's an intra assignment time delay.
I recently learned this. So, like, actually, like delay is not cannot be designed, right? Cannot be hardware. So typically this delayed actually less than or equals to is an non-blocking
Non-blocking
assignment, right? So
assignments.
because
Yeah.
of this delay, this becomes a blocking
Blocking
statement. So
assignments.
yeah. So after 5 seconds, what else? After 5 seconds only it will be
No,
assigned. But
okay.
yeah,
Delays,
this
I
kind of
already said.
becomes because of this delay, this becomes a kind of blocking statement
Okay,
rather than non-blocking.
delay.
Yeah,
If you put anything in front of delay with anything if after these are executed after only the delay, then everything in
yes, yes.
with the sequential. So yeah, maybe change.
Okay, it's difference between wire and ridge.
Wire and ridge.
Anyone? Maybe Ankush.
Can you repeat the question?
What is difference between wire and ridge?
Oh, yeah, wires don't hold the value, register hold the value. So wires are just used for the means of connections.
And
Wire can
logic.
Wire can't store value. It can only pass, but res can store value.
What is difference between logic as well? Wire, ridge, and logic? What does logic do? It's a system Verilog question.
Wire and logic. We use in system Verilog. We use logic in place of wire and dash, not in place of we can for the improvement. In wire and dash, we can have two values, 0 and 1, two states. But we are while we are using logic of that variable can be 1, 0, unknown, and high impedance.
Okay. Okay, first wire is actually say it do not hold anything. It just is connection between tools, and default value of wire is Z, and okay, register is hold the value and hold the value. And if you comes into Verilog, whatever we are in procedure assignment, like assign the left hand should be of wire type, that must be in a procedural block. Whatever we declare in the left LHS should be out of a reg type. It must be want to hold the value as the main difference.
Yes.
Yeah, and in register and logic, register can be only used for procedural, but logic we can use for both procedural as well as concurrent blocks. Not at the same time, but we can use it, logic. One more commonly asked question is intra-assignment and inter-assignment delays.
Intra means after the specified time, the if like one hash 10 a equal to b or to procedure, after the time only the b will get the value and it will be assigned to a. In intra assignment delay, first the value is passed to the first statement will be executed, then will be the result is updated after the time. Okay, first execution is done, then updated on next after the time
After the time delay.
Time delay. Then intra first will be the time delay is consumed, then the execution and assignment will be done. Then
Can anyone tell difference between among dollar stroke, dollar monitor, dollar display? Anyone can?
Can you repeat what?
Difference among dollar stroke, dollar monitor, dollar display.
Okay. Dollar display is just active at the same time what we call. If it is called one time, then it is give the value. Okay, that's the dollar display. If we have a variable inside or a inside that dollar display, it will update the value like how many times we called. But in the dollar monitor, it will be continuously updated whenever the parameter inside the monitor, it will be changed with that in the block, in the procedural block, it will be continuously updated. And the dollar stop will be give the result of the final end of the simulation time. What is the value we hold in hold that give the what we are telling to the dollar stop, the final value or the end of the simulation time, what the value hold that give the variable give that value. That's a dollar stop.
Fine. Next question.
Yeah, in system Verilog, we'll usually ask as a beginner's question, what is a mailbox, what is semaphore, and why do we need interfaces? So 3 questions actually.
Mailboxes are the classes, we can say class in system Verilog, which is used to communicate between different classes or different modules or different things. different stages, and that can be assigned two types, like mailbox has and something value, and mailbox simply name. And we generally use it in making system Verilog test bench, making system Verilog test benches, as we making system Verilog verification environment. And in semaphores, I have read have not executed till now, but as for definition, I know these give control to the we gives keys, different keys to the input, and that gives control at the moment we want to get the response at what stages or the statement or line. We use keys concept, and one cannot elaborate to it. I don't know this much, but in interface is the uh, block is a is then advancement in Verilog, which was introduced in system Verilog. In interfaces, we gives all the input outputs, nets, wires, that's which we are going to use in our design. We declare in them in interface and in the interface. And in interface, we also use mode ports called blocking blocks in mode ports. In general, we don't give input output type of the then type of the variable. In mode ports, from the name we see it's a module port. We want to give the port in DUT. We use some signal as input, and the same signal is used in TB as output. So for that confusion, we make mode ports for DUT, mode ports for test bench, and we can reuse that in a vast scenario or globally. That is the
Mailbox is used for the communication between process to process as well as class to class. Both we can communicate. If you communicate to process, we can just do it in one mailbox. If you are using mailbox to one class to another class, we want to ensure that both the mailbox having the address of the same, which means the both the mailbox having a same address. That we done in the function. Okay, that's the mailbox. Then in the semaphore, it is if we have a resource and two processes are simultaneously access those resources, we want to ensure that which process will be executed as per our requirement. So for that, we are giving some keys to the processes. And if one process will be executed, that's called kind of buckets are there, and number of keys are there. Okay, if any process is accessing those keys, he can execute, and after executing those process, he can return back to the key. Then only the next process can access the access. Like we can make the control over the on process, and the put and get method are used to it is inbuilt method used for accessing the keys from the buckets. Okay, then in the interface is the for reusability. It is a bundle of signals. For our verification environment, there are loads of connection between the test bench and the DUT. There are for every class we want to repeatedly we want to sometimes we want to declare the input and outputs. Okay, every time it's not possible. Actually, it is possible, but it requires many times. So what we are declared, whatever signal we use, we make it as a bundle, and we reuse whenever it wants. We reuse. Okay, interface is only giving the signal same without the direction. Okay, The signals are for mode ports, it may be input or outputs, but in test bench, if the input of the test bench is the output of the design DUT. Okay, so the interface cannot give the direction. So that's why we use the mode ports. Mode ports are used for the direction purpose. Okay.
Okay.
Where do we use super? What is super keyword?
Super is used for accessing the parent class from the child class. Parent class properties can be accessed using super keyword from the child class.
Okay.
What's polymorphism?
These questions are from System Verilog.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
okay.
have not gone through the System Verilog
Okay.
yet.
Okay, fine. Can you just say a difference between melee and move? Anguish can say. Anguish is left.
Anyone know difference virtual classes or virtual functions? I don't know. I have not used that.
Yeah. Virtual class. I say na polymorphism. Okay. If we want to access the parent class methods, okay, using the child class methods using the parent class handles. Okay. We want that requirement in some cases, like in UVM, everything will be in parent class. Okay. Then we want to access some methods of these child classes using the inbuilt parent class handle. Okay. It's already in some kind of situation. We cannot get those methods and methods after handle assignment done. Then after handle assignment, if we done, then we cannot get those properties. Okay, we cannot get those properties even if handle assignment is done. Okay, that time what we are doing is put the keyword of virtual in front of task or function, whatever we use. Okay, if virtual is there, it makes ensure that if the parent class handle can be accessed, we can access the child class using the parent class handle. Okay, if we have a virtual function is there in the child class, okay, we can access the these methods using the parent class. If you cannot put the virtual keyword over there, we cannot access those methods. The kind of inbuilt thing. Actually, I also lots of confusion next to learn. It's a kind of polymorphism techniques. It's an inbuilt method. We put virtual is there, then only we can access those methods. And properties we cannot access. Okay, only function. It's related to polymorphism.
Anyone? Two question next.
On UVM, you go to UVM.
UVM, I have gone through only basics, basics two or basics or basic. Basic.
System Verilog. That's much question I have.
Static dynamic, semaphores. Assertions, yeah. Okay. Difference between melee and moray, which is more preferable? Melee machine.
Vengala. Okay, Vengala.
Actually, it depends on the requirements, but each has their own advantages. So in Melee, I don't remember actually which one is which. So like one has like one. So one, I think Melee, the output depends on inputs and as well present state. More only the output depends only on the present state. Is it correct or it's the opposite? I don't remember it actually.
I think it's correct.
Okay, yeah, I saw, yeah.
Completely sure, but I think
I get confused with
I
the.
am forgetting this, not read for a long
Yeah,
time.
so actually, which one is best is based on the requirements. So when we have inputs in the present state, we'll have like more. We'll be having less kind of hardware. So
Yeah.
and so
Okay.
if we want less hardware.
Which one is make synchronization? Synchronization with the clock.
Moore machines will give synchronization because every time when we are changing input, it will not change immediately, like Melee machine.
Yeah. Yeah, more.
Shiju, can you please explore that? Can you insight us on
Melee and More.
Yes.
Okay. Melee have Melee state machine. Number of state is actually I also the wrong answer. Na number of state is greater than More. Not that's only specific case for like sequence detector only. That's not in the case. Okay. And first of all, Melee has changed the output whenever there is a change in the present state as well as input. Okay. Input, but the present state is depends on the clock. Okay, present state is depends on the clock. Okay,
In Melee.
in Melee, if we have the control over the clock, if we are making the control over the clock, then only means we cannot make the like output. The entire control is cannot guaranteed because it also change with respect to the input also. Okay. If we want to control the Melee machine, we make the control over the clock, then we may not assure that we are in the control. Okay. It also depends on two states. Okay. But in comes into Moore, it only in present state. Okay. The present state is different, completely depend on the clock. Okay. So with respect to clock only, the output change. So we can have the entire control over the output. Okay, so Moore is more preferable because it makes the synchronization with the clock. Like latch we cannot have the control now. If you after enabling the enable it will be continuously change. Like in Moore Melee we cannot have the control. In Moore we can have the control. So Moore is more preferable. Then common questions. I don't know. Anybody have any questions? I try to answer.
There is a
Any questions on protocols in any interviews?
Protocols from XT. I have from STA. Want to ask?
Can you please share STA questions if you are uncommon questions which you would ask?
Common question means
Uncommon.
what is metastability? Maybe ask. What is metastability?
Yes. In previous mock interview, there were asked a question like what is, if there is a setup time and full time violation after the chip has been manufactured,
Yeah.
how that will be resolved?
Setup time. First of all, just go through why we have setup time and hold time. What happened
after making all the precautions, using all the techniques, and we fabricated the chip, and after that doing all these things, if there is a setup time and hold time violation. If there is setup time violation, what will happen? If there is a hold time violation, what will happen?
We frankly say that the data cannot be output. Data cannot be sampled properly. Okay.
Yes.
Because the data change is correct with respect to just think that with respect to edge of the clock. Okay, data is changed. What happens if the data change is exactly same at the same clock, exactly same at the edge of the clock? Okay, what will the state? The data is in what state? We cannot make the sample okay correctly if the data change and the clock is come to same time. So what we are doing is that we are setting a certain boundary like setup time and hold time, and we are say that, or we are making a decision, or some constraints are there. Constraints means we are making some boundaries. We say that the data should not be changed this within these boundaries. Okay, within these boundaries, then only the data should be properly sampled. Okay.
Yes.
That
If we increase the period width, clock period means increase the they answered us. If we increase or decrease the frequency in a specific frequency after having setup time violation, that will work in a specific frequency. Increasing the time period means decreasing the frequency. At low frequency, we can sell that chip at lower prices. We cannot make changes in that. That is, I also searched a word called bin splitting on internet. So then bin splitting is used in marketing. We can't do anything. If there is a whole time violation, we can't do anything in that case. So we have to put that in garbage box.
yeah, that's maybe called a little bit upgrade thing. I don't know go with
No, no,
that.
no.
Okay.
In the previous mock interview, there were a guy. There were a guy
Some interviewer has done in a state. They have the, but generally there are metastability is asked at a time, all time they are asked, and what are the precautions? Precautions not what are the steps we take to avoid setup time and hold time. That also we take, and then also if you change the frequency, what will happen to setup time and hold time?
Yes,
Like this.
there is one question. If there is a support time violation before the manufacturing of the chip in the STA, as I have studied some part of the physical design also, in the I don't know it is valid for DV or not, but in physical designing, if there is a whole time violation, we can avoid that by adding buffers in that circuit.
First in that circuit is things in we can avoid those things in two step. Okay, some RTL designers can avoid using buffers and make some changes in the clock or something. Okay, when into PD peoples, they can make the things like the entire cells. Okay, they have registered to rated cells.
I have seen in PDK there are buffer cells also. We can
Buffer
add
cells.
those buffer cells, then we can do that.
Buffer cells means the PD peoples have the inbuilt cells, like they have
Yes,
clock
yes.
to Q delay inbuilt. If you have a 0.5
Everything
delay,
is fixed. If there is D flop top, GK flop top, and
flip
any
flops
block, there are block
with the
specific and their timings. With their timings. Fixed
we are
in that
just
PDK
changing
we are making.
as per the that timings that the PD people do. In RTO people, what they are playing with the clocks and adding buffers. All those things are in the RTL designers. That then CDC. That's all of it.
In CDC, can you have read the things? In CDC, what type of questions they can be made or interviewer asked?
I have only go through the weeks. Okay. What is CDC? They ask. What is the how can we avoid CDC? Okay. Then also half half path they asked. Half
Yes,
path, I think. Yeah.
why they will ask how can we avoid CDC? Because CDC, there are two domains and we are working to synchronize them or working with those domains. How we will avoid? You are saying if we don't use CDC, that will be better in that circuit in place of using CDC.
No,
Using
actually CDC means if like a situation we have a one processor and a like an interfacing device. Okay, the processor is working with a high speed. Okay, and the other devices are working with low speed. Okay, but we cannot give clock of to same clock with the both of two. It's happening also inside a chip. It also be happen. Okay, we cannot give clock to uh, all the modules. Okay, same clock. Then CDC will happen. What we are taking is we are making that synchronization between these two clocks is using with use of FIFO and double flop synchronization. That's kind of way we can avoid it. And also it has two types, I think. The
two flop synchronization is used to avoid metastability. I think.
Also, I think CDC, there are also tools of flop synchronization is used, I think. I think it's also two types. When the source of the clock is from different domain, okay, then different approach is there. If the source from the same domain, same source, okay, clock, it has some synchronization between if the frequency is different but the frequency have some sort of synchronization is there, then we go with the different approach. And the source is different clock and frequency is different and also source is different, then we are go with the different approach also. I actually with no that much proper idea.
And have you read linting? They ask questions from linting.
Question from
Linting, LINTING. Lint.
no, I don't know. I have no idea. UVM I have. UVM, if you have any UVM, you can ask.
So, Akshay, you want to discuss something? Some questions you want to discuss?
No, sir. About linting only I was about to ask because I will see many RTL posts in requirements they will post.
Basic about the linting they ask, like what is the center, like what are the different type of lintings problems and all. Just basic.
Sir, did you share that module? It's there in our.
Yeah. If it is not there, I will share it.
Yeah, metastability also I didn't get, sir.
Okay. I will just WhatsApp.
I also answer the LinkedIn. I have no idea about this thing.
Avdesh, you have the idea?
Yes. You said the module I read from that. I have screenshot.
Yeah, even I don't have the LinkedIn.
Okay, just give the brief idea, Avdesh.
Yes. When we write the Verilog code, there is some sort of rules the company has, the standard company has made to write the guidelines. We simply linting is the company guidelines which we should follow. We have
RTL guidance.
Yes. We have written the code and we have not followed some guidelines which is defined in that tool. That tool will tell you, give you error that you have not followed this guideline, that type. And there are sometimes 7-8 guidelines. In general, there may be anything, or I also read about user-defined guidelines you can add in that tool, and that will compare your code with that golden reference, and that will give you errors like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Apart that of the RTL guidelines, we can give the another guidelines to another some
guidelines. They will give you the warnings only. These are not the errors. These will give the warnings. If you want to correct it, just correct it.
That warnings may be converted into errors after the synthesis.
Yeah.
In synthesis.
Yeah. Okay. So should we end the meeting, or anyone want to discuss something? Anyone want to discuss some topics?
I just wanted to ask what kind of questions will be asked on protocol specifically, like I2C.
Protocols, I shared you some questions now. Okay, you want to discuss, Shiriju?
Protocol, I think in last interview, an Astrom RTL is saying they ask lots of questions from protocol, which is completely basic on my resume. Okay, I made some project in URT and HB protocol. Okay, yeah, they ask questions from that. How can you made? What are the signals and when it comes into the protocol violation, and what is the status register related to the protocol? Then
What?
state
What
register.
they asked about status register.
Status register. I have no idea. I just say that what is current status of the protocol it is to be in that give the. Then what are the signals they asked? What are the signals and how just kind of working they asked and when it will be where it will be used like that. Then URT they asked what are the baud rate what which baud rate in URT na signals
Yes, yes.
okay, it's completely there is no clock. Okay.
Yes.
We are sending some data with respect to some timing constraints and same timing is followed by the
Start
receiver.
bit, stop bit.
Not start bit, stop it. If like there is some clock baud rate. Okay, we have some baud rate. As per that baud rate, both the transmitter and receiver works. Then it will make the synchronization. That kind of thing is asked. What is baud rate? Then to refer to the AXI, I do not have the idea. Then just Google it for 3 minutes and say about.
You wrote about AFSI in your resume.
No, I don't know wrote
They
so,
asked,
but
after
I
that they
asked
asked.
any idea about AXI. I just no, then Google it and say AXI. Then resume basic questions. So then on chip, what is on chip protocol? What it means? First of all, basic what is protocol?
On chip protocol, I think it's SOC.
SOC as well as ASIC in between chips.
ASIC and SOC. SOC is system on chip.
And yeah, that's all the thing in protocol. Okay.
Sir, I want to request you to have these sessions after 2 days or 3 days. Have after having interviews with the real persons, that will these are beneficial. Discussing the improving our answers, because everyone knows answers. We have to improve and define our answers. So that is very beneficial.
That's
Yeah. So should we end the meeting?
Yes, yes.
Do you want to say something?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So we will have the interview tomorrow also, fine? Just
Okay.
okay, fine. Thank you.